Hi, it's the M.L.M for the Soul channel, and I do have a new topic for today. Before I begin, I just would like to say, may the words and expressions of my mouth and the thoughts and meditations of my heart find favor and acceptance before you, Hashem. And some people I thank have inspired me. Hope they can inspire you as well. And I will have links below this video to their sites. They are Rabbi Shalom Arush, Rabbi Lazer Brody, Rabbi Yosef Mizrahi, Rabbi Eli Mansour, Rabbi Alon Anava, Rabbi Yuval Ovadia, Rav Daniel Asore, Nisan Baruch Black, David Sachs, Rabbi Michael Skobek, Jews for Judaism, Rabbi David Asher, Rabbi Yaron, and Rabbi Yaron Ruvain. As well, if you've never checked out this channel before, I will have a link right below this video to my first video, and that explains what M.L.M for the Soul means, what it stands for, and what I'm doing. So today's topic, again, is going to come from the weekly Parashat insights that I get from Rabbi Eli Mansour, and this is not for this past one or coming Parasha, but it's still relatable to life in general. So this is from Parashat Bo, and I call this spiritual growth is an ongoing, lifelong process, and that is the truth. And you'll see why here as well. So in Parashat Bo, it tells us of Hashem's command to Bnei Israel regarding the Karban Pesach, which is the Paschal sacrifice which they offered on the night of the Exodus before they left Egypt. Hashem commanded Moshe to instruct the people to place the blood of the sacrifice on the two sides of the doorposts, like the mezuzot, so the two sides like that, and on the top of the door frame. So up here, called it mashkof. Interestingly, however, when Moshe relayed these commands to the people, he reversed the sequence, instructing them to place blood on the top of the door frame and then on the post. So why did Moshe deviate from Hashem's instruction and reverse the sequence? So King Shlomo, or Shlomo HaMelech, teaches us in Mishlei, Orech Yamim B'Yamina B'Smola Osher V'Chavod. Longevity is to the right of the Torah, and to the left is wealth and honor. It has been suggested that the doorpost which stands to the right and to the left of a person as he walks through symbolize these blessings of longevity, wealth, and honor. Sometimes a person involves himself in Torah for ulterior motives, hoping to earn a reward. He commits himself not out of the genuine devotion to the Almighty, but rather to receive the rewards promised for involvement in Torah. So the Gemara in Masechet Pesachim famously teaches that although learning shelo lishma, which is for insincere motives, is less than ideal, it is nevertheless acceptable. So when you do something that isn't for the sake of heaven, it's still acceptable. It's just, it's not the most ideal, as he says. So the reason is that once a person begins getting involved in Torah out of self-serving motives, he will with time reach a level of lishma, which is learning Torah for sincere or altruistic motives or reasons. So accordingly, Hashem instructed Bnei Israel to begin with the doorposts, which is the rewards for Torah, before we can rise to the level of lishma, where we learn and practice out of a deep-seated and genuine love of Hashem. We should first begin with the more modest level of shelo lishma, involving ourselves in Torah in order to reap the practical benefits that it offers us. The question then becomes why did Moshe reverse the order? Why did he tell the people to start with the top, with the ideal level of lishma, and only then to descend to the doorpost, to the ulterior motives for learning Torah? So the answer is that growth is an ongoing, lifelong process. So that's why I named it, gave it that title. So every time we rise to a new level of spiritual achievement, we must look further to the next level. So one goes higher to the next and the next. So the new level we have achieved should with time seem to us unsatisfactory, such that when we set our sights upon a more ambitious level, so meaning once we're done with one, they're like, oh, I want to keep going up. So this is indicated by the Gemara's formulation in Pesachim. A person should always engage in Torah mitzvot, even not for their sake. So the Gemara teaches that one should always study and practice shelo lishma. Once a person reaches the level of lishma, that level should then seem like shelo lishma, meaning, so you start with shelo lishma, and then when you kind of get to the next level, you come up, then that's lishma, and then that should actually seem like it's lo lishma, meaning, so what it is it's not satisfactory enough for you, so you want to keep climbing up. So the level of sincerity we achieve now should seem to us later as insincere. We must constantly be striving to raise our standards to grow in our level of sincerity and purity of motives. And thus Moshe told the people that after they reach the mashkof, the exalted level of lishma, they must then descend, so to speak, and see themselves back on the level of mezuzot, the level of shelo lishma. What seems to us as an admirable spiritual achievement now must seem insufficient as we continue to grow and develop in our religious commitment. Meaning, don't think this is enough. So you want to go to the next level. It's not enough. You want to keep growing. So this is one of the vital messages that Bnei Yisrael were taught at this moment, and as they were about to leave Egypt and become Hashem's sacred nation. They were told that they need to constantly grow and advance, that no achievement is ever sufficient. Every new level we reach should be celebrated, but we mustn't stop there. We must continue working to progress and reach even greater heights. Each day of our lives, one modest achievement at a time. And I think, in closing, I just would like to say that, yes, we need to keep growing, and our growth will help us go to a higher and higher level, and that we will all merit to live and see the coming of Mashiach speedily in our days and the rebuilding of our final and everlasting base Hamegdash. Amen. And thanks for watching.